Hello and welcome here once again to a wonderful night of Tuesday racing action here with the HCK Beagles Superspeedway Sim Racing League. And boy oh boy, it's gonna be a great show here. 60 laps at Talladega, proudly brought to you by Triple T's Custom PCs. For your PC customization needs and builds, definitely go search them out on Facebook, as well as I'm not sure if they've got a website or not, but we can definitely double check in on that one a little later on. But thank you, Triple T's Custom PCs, for throwing your hat in the gauntlet here tonight for this wonderful racing league that we've got here today. Looks like we got a full field of trucks here tonight, and man, we just can't wait to get this action started. So let's get this party started by playing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And thank you, everybody. Well, as stated, in for a great one here at Talladega as qualifying's just starting to get underway. I'm Alan Brown, and I am joined in the booth today by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how are you doing today, man?
Hey, good, man. Really looking forward to this first time we're running Talladega this season with the HCK Beagles Racing League. We love watching these trucks run around here, nose to tail. Excited to see some great pack racing tonight.
That is for sure. And down there on pit road, we got Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, how you do? Oh, wait. No. Unfortunately, Adam Turner is not here tonight to be with us, but I'm sure he's going to be tuning in to watch some of this racing action. So, Adam, we miss you, buddy, but we got a two-man squad in here tonight, and you know what? I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem here, especially with how these plate tracks go. There's always something to talk about as the racing goes along. Let's take a look here at the racing conditions. Nice, bright, sunny, not too many issues. I know a heck of a windstorm's been rolling through all around the country, but not really dealing with any of that here tonight. And you know what? I couldn't even think of a key of the race tonight other than it's going to be Dega. You're going to have to hold your line. It's going to be 3 wide for a good chunk of this race because, I mean, it's a very wide track. So, you know, I think it's just all around, it's going to be a very good race.
Yes, sir. They got 2 fast repairs to use here at Talladega, and they're running 75% fuel. So we are going to see these guys coming in to get filled back up with Sunoco fuel. They got to get that pit speed limit down. They got to get their speed down because the speed limit on pit road is 55 miles an hour. So if we do see any green flag stops tonight, hopefully these guys did a little practice in grabbing gears and slowing down before that cone.
Yeah, and I think I've seen a couple people try to practice that because it really didn't come into play last week at Daytona, but I think these guys realize, that this week is going to be a completely different story, and it's going to be those minor details, I think, is what's going to make or break a race here today.
Yeah, and a huge field out here. We love seeing these big fields on these big tracks. There's one thing that comes along with that, though, is sometimes you can have a few more cautions than you really want in one of these races. Hopefully we won't see that tonight. I know these guys did some practice sessions, so hopefully they're able to stay off of each other for the most part.
As we kind of wait for some of these guys to put in their lap times, still got about 5 minutes left in this qualifying session, but what's one thing I was carrying over from last week that I found interesting was we already saw how much the team aspect came into play. Not only that, but just little allegiances between countries. We do have a few Canadian drivers in here, and that's what we saw yesterday as everyone was going around was the Canadian guys up front kept helping out each other, trying to push each other up front, and I mean one of those being Rick Spencer Walt in that 1331 truck. But man, it's that team aspect, I mean, even more so this season, I think it's going to come into play.
Yeah, we love racing with our neighbors to the north. We saw it we do see it in another league that we broadcast, and it's good to see those guys appreciate some good NASCAR racing like we like down here. But this pack racing is something else. We talk about it quite a bit, about the way these trucks punch a huge hole in the air, get a few of them together, especially on that outside line. We may see some big runs if these guys can kind of stay close to each other and split that air resistance between them.
Yeah, and especially with these trucks, it doesn't take that many either. I mean, we've seen it with solo trucks being able to get that wind tunnel effect shooting up the middle, which I'm sure we're going to see a lot of here tonight. But not only that, but it only takes about 3 trucks on that far outside line if you want to push it 3 wide to really get a run going.
Yeah, I think especially towards the end of the race, with that time when desperation kind of starts to set in, you may see more of that guys sticking their nose in the middle, making it 3 wide, and trying to side draft their way to the front. We have seen that be effective in the past, but hopefully we won't see any of that till late in the race.
We start to kind of slowly wind down the qualifying here tonight. We've got 30 cars officially taking a time. It's going to be 31 here in a second as soon as Wayne Dewey crosses that checkered line. And
Kyle Jackson looks like he's heading out to try to make a lap in that 60 truck.
That he is. So I mean, it's good to see nice large fields here. I mean, plate racing in itself, it gets everybody's attention. It's especially here on iRacing, whenever the official series go to a Daytona or Talladega, you'll see people in the trucks or the Xfinity cars or the Cup cars just about all dang week, just because the plate tracks get this eye, because I can't say like everybody can do it, but out of all the racing that's available on iRacing, it's one of the most friendly, I would say, to people just trying to get in and kind of figure out their way around cars and tracks.
Yeah, these trucks are very forgiving, and then you add to that the whole pack dynamic. I mean, if there's a somewhat level playing field anywhere in auto racing, it's at these plate tracks, because like you say, as Turner's fond of saying, you can go from chump to champ or champ to chump in just a lap. So hopefully the guys that can dodge the big one, because we'll have at least one of those, I'm sure. The guys that can dodge that, stay out of danger, are going to be your guys that survive. And you can't finish in a top 5 or even win a race if you don't survive.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And also including that is timing those runs. It's very easy to get tunnel visioned on that truck in front of you and be like, oh, I got to run. I'm going to go out to the outside and not realize, well, if I do that and we're coming up into a corner here, all my momentum's going to go away. Next thing you know, I'm parachuting all the way to the back.
Yeah, and I want to apologize to everybody. I was not able to get our standings chart done because iRacing was not up all day, so I couldn't get to the scores. But we'll make sure and have that ready for you guys next week, so you can see where your favorite driver sits in the point standings right now. I guess they had an Amazon server thing going on. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I guess iRacing uses some of Amazon's facilities or something like that to keep their service up and running, and unfortunately that did not go quite to plan today, as we do now have qualifying finishing up. So let's head on down and start to tell everybody where people are gridded up here today. We're going to start off with our pole position winner, and that's going to be Mr. Curtis Critchley. Man, I think he was up there last week as well, so he's definitely showing some speed out there in these trucks. He's going to have Justin Lawson on his outside. You got the 6 of Paul Durkee there in row number 2, starting 3rd, with Joshua Moore starting here in 4th. Got last week's race winner, Eric Stoy, in that 4 truck, starting here 5th, with Mike McMillan starting in 6th. You got Cale Turbeville starting here 7th, with Derek Rowdy Puckett starting in 8th. Brad Taylor will be starting here 9th, with Wayne Dewey rounding out that top 10. Cody Staten in that 15 is going to be starting here 11th. He's going to have Derek Welch in the 1 truck starting 12th on that outside. Zachary Staten's also going to be starting up front there, kind of towards that front of the middle pack there in 13th, with Kyle Jackson in 14th. In 15th, you got the 12 of Austin Johnson, and in 16th, the 66 of Paul Ferdiani. 17th, you got Kevin Winker, and rounding out that top 18 is going to be Rob Chowdhury.
The 67 truck of Nathan Stanley be starting in 19th. The newcomer, the 110 truck of Richard Gray. Richard's coming over from MDOT to come race with these guys. He'll be starting right there in 20th. 13 of Rick Spencer Walt in 21st. 25 of Mark Collins in 22nd place starting out. The 7 truck of Rick LePage in 23rd. The 28 truck of Henry Wyndham in 24th. Little Rimmer, Greg Turner in the 69, starting 25th. Andrew Hansley the 4th in that 24 truck will start 26th. Brandon Coleman will be starting 27th. Stone Hutchinson 28th. Dylan Ellis in the 18 starting 29th. Stumpy in the 5 truck starting 30th. Kyle Hackett in the 61 starting 31st. Brian Doty starting 32nd. Michael Reynolds 33rd. Rodney Griffin in the 97 truck starting 34th. And then we got Brian Skidmore in 35th, Robert Perrott in 36th, Michael Hicks in the 76 starting 37th, and Eddie Murray, Special Ed, will start in 38th place at the back.
Whew, 38 cars.
Take a breath now,
Good gravy. Man, but you know what? Full field means full field of action to go, with 60 nice long laps here at Talladega. Just a little bit longer than that 2.5 mile stretch. So it's officially 160 miles here today, give or take a few kilometers that we know Turner loves so much.
We can always also mention, I would like to see some fights, because I know he wants to see some fights. he's off doing some training for his job this week. That's the reason he's not here, but he said he'd try to drop in on the streams. So hopefully you might see him in the comments tonight.
Maybe as the 27 of Curtis Critchley leads this field around with Justin Lawson up there on that outside, waiting for that pace car to make that dive down into pit road. And once again, we got to mention it every single time, but Talladega is that weird track where that start-finish line isn't exactly where you expect it to be. It's kind of actually closer to turn one it is than anywhere else.
Around the corner from the trial, yep.
Yeah, so pace car making that turn off of pit road now. It's just going to be a moment, and then these trucks will come into view, coming through that tri-oval. I know everybody here is ready. The fans in the stands are all standing up, ready to see some race in action. Green flags up and ready to be waved. And here we go. Green flag racing here at Talladega in the HCK Beagles League. Sending it off down into turns 1 and 2. Solid start from both lines as we see, I believe that's Joshua Moore sliding down to that bottom line, leaving the 20 of Justin Lawson kind of out on his own. But the 6 is going to pop up, Paul Durkee, as we got a car bouncing off the wall down into the inside. Hopefully everyone gets around it okay. And it looks like they will, as we're going to stay green flag racing here as we got a whole scatter behind everybody.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that truck that was spinning, smacking the inside wall really hard. So definitely going to need a fast repair for that one. Thanks to everybody for joining us on YouTube and on Twitch tonight. We're having some trouble with Facebook tonight. I don't know what the problem is there, but we are on YouTube and Twitch. So thanks to all you guys for joining us on the other platforms as well tonight. And we'd love to see your comments. I see they're already rolling in. We got a boatload of them already. As
we're now just finishing up lap 1, now on to lap 2. And you can kind of see that we got a little bit of multi-pack racing here. You got your lead pack of about 10 trucks or so, and then a little gap down to 11th. I think they're just trying to get all single filed out to maybe catch back up to these guys, which it looks like they will. So everybody slowly trying to get back together, and then kind of back there near 20th, you got a little bit of a gap that they're trying to close up as well. All just because kind of a mix on where you were, just people trying to avoid that truck going from wall to wall there, as the 6 of Paul Durkee continues to try to get that top line, keep that momentum churning up above. He's got Justin Lawson helping him out up there, but you also got the 27 down low. He's got help from the 51 of Joshua Moore, and that bottom line's definitely starting to make a move.
Thanks, Alabama Old Man and Numb Thumbs Gaming Community, Jonah Woods, Dr. Shankaloo. Appreciate all you guys getting on. Zach GD, Jordan Mitchell, Deer Bear, saying go Cubby, Tower Operator. We got a ton of folks here, and Miss Carol on here tonight, pulling for Andrew Hansley.
Great to have you all around for this wild ride, which is going to be Talladega right now. Other than those couple trucks, I think, getting a little too racy here at the start. Everything's calmed down a bit, especially up here at the front. We've had, 2 wide racing just about the entire time, with little instances of 3, which we have going on right now. Looks like that yellow truck trying to make something happen on that far outside line. The problem is he has absolutely no help whatsoever.
He'd like to get up here with his teammates, the 15 and the 51. You can see those big American flags on the bed covers of these trucks, and that team right there is definitely decked out with some patriotism tonight. But you got to kind of run with who's around you if you can't get with a teammate. Now, that's the thing with this pack racing. It does take a lot of patience, and you kind of got to work with who's around you. Joel Moore pulling for Joshua Moore on YouTube tonight. Thanks for joining us. 8 kind of leaving a little bit of a gap in front of them.
And
he's going to get a little push from behind.
It looks like he will, and you know what? That might be something. I know they were talking about it last week. Some of the issues that they had were, you know, just people getting maybe a little too aggressive. You know, trying to maybe push the pusher a little too hard or something like that. So I know that was something discussed, I think, just throughout the week and at today's driver meeting, that, you know, just be conscious on, you know, who you're pushing. As the 51 takes a break towards that outside, hops up in front of the 6. So Joshua Moore making some moves right now, trying to use that top line momentum to his advantage, and he will. So he's going to slide back down low right in front of the 27 and take control of the front pack that we got going on here. Looks like everybody up to 15th is all caught up in this main pack, but then back here at 16th we got Henry Wyndham and Mark Collins and Rick Spencer Walt. A little 3-truck field there with Rob Chowdhury trying to, or excuse me, that's not Rob Chowdhury, that's a lap truck trying to, you know, stay up with some draft and who knows, maybe help these guys out a little bit.
We got a lead change as Paul Durkee pushes the 27 back in front of the 51, and the 27 dives back down to that inside line. Here comes the 51 back onto the outside line in front of Durkee.
Yeah, they got to be careful though.
Got a couple of close trucks behind him, so we may see another lead change again.
And we're coming up on some lap traffic here as well, and they are staying down on that bottom line, so that's going to cause a big shuffle here as the 51 went way up high. 27 went to that middle line. Everyone seems to be funneling out as we got a truck right there on the exit, so we're 3 wide a little bit here, trying to figure things out, and it looks like they will just get it sorted. Still 3 wide though, right there in that middle.
15's trying to make his way up the middle, taps the back corner of the 20 machine. Able to keep up straight though. These trucks do like to drive straight, so good job of not wrecking there. Yeah, we had lap cars on the inside line and the outside line, and the leaders are 2 wide trying to split them.
And it's tough to, you know, tough to split some cars like you're, you know, at a bowling alley. Sometimes things don't work out, but hey, in this situation, everything worked out just fine as we're 3 wide back here again. I believe that's a 60 of Kyle Jackson looking to that far outside as we start to catch up to another lap truck here. So this is going to cause a big problem if the 60 doesn't trickle down in the line. Actually, that lap truck doing the very honorable thing on pulling down to the apron line. So letting everybody go through so there wasn't too much of an issue.
Yeah, a few of these guys starting to tighten up on the outside line here, and the 110 Ford machine, Richard Michelob Gray, and that Michelob Ultra truck getting up behind a 31 here, trying to keep that outside line tight, but they just haven't got a real great run yet. Let's see what they can do coming out of 1 and 2. Try oval first, but I think that's where they kind of come alive.
I believe so.
Right. 27's stuck in the middle now.
Yeah, he is, and it looks like that almost entire top line decided to go far outside, so that 27's got zero help there in the middle, catching up once again to some lap traffic as everyone tries to shuffle back down to get as close to that bottom line as they can.
Now it might be the 4 getting stuck. Nope. He's got a gap. The 8 let him in.
So everybody getting all shuffled back around here. That 6 of Paul Durkee having a great run here as we catch up to that lap truck. I believe that's the 97 of Rodney Griffin.
Yeah, he's currently 4 laps down, but out there clicking them off. They don't want these guys to just give up, you know?
No, that's what those fast repairs are for, and
all right, keep fighting.
You know, anything can happen. We've seen just about anything and everything under the sun at these plate tracks, so we definitely know it ain't over until that checker flag has been waved and trucks have crossed that line.
Michael Mercolini, I'm sorry if I'm butchering any names, pulling for the 66. So the 66 of Paul Ferdiani, got a fan on YouTube pulling for you. Thank you, Michael.
I got a feeling our friend, the Italian Stallion, Eric Fiorello, might be rooting these guys on too, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I think it's deer season. He's probably just climbing out of his blind, I'm sure, on his way home. I like seeing that outside line push. And look, got the 6 machine is now in the lead.
Yeah, it's securely in the lead, back down to that bottom line to try to maintain everything here. But at the same time, you know, knowing how early it is, Alan, and knowing that we're going to definitely have some pit stops and all of that, where do you want to sit in this after seeing what kind of start we had? Do you want to be in that chase pack? Do you want to be up in this front pack? And if you are in this front pack, do you want to actually be leading this, or do you want to sit back a little bit and you know, maybe save a little bit of fuel?
So I'd want to be kind of near probably try to be near the rear of the lead pack, just to stay in the draft, because you can make big moves in a short amount of time. But if you're up here in amongst these guys that are right on each other's bumpers, that's just kind of a formula for getting wrecked, if you ask me. But some of these guys are making it work. They're pretty good on the wheel. They can probably hold a lot better line than I can, though.
And as we saw, the 27 actually made a very interesting move. Ended up coming down just based on the run he had diagonally across. He wasn't that lead car on that outside line. He was actually the second car in line, but he was able to jump down in front of the first car in the bottom line. So the 27 of Curtis Critchley making a great move there to put himself in the lead of this one.
Just had so much momentum, he figured why waste it, go ahead and stick it in there, and it worked. You got the 15 of Cody Stanton right behind teammate Joshua Moore in the 51. Hopefully these guys are going to try to communicate with each other and stick together. These guys are in team Discord channels, so they can talk to each other. Ooh, that lap truck on the high side is pretty slow, but staying out of danger.
They are, and everyone's able to shuffle back around as, man, the 6 Paul Durkee getting a great run there, able to jump back down, and the 27 thought, hey, maybe if he jumps down, I can jump back up to that top line, maybe recapture this thing, but he ended up dropping back a few positions as no help was right there available to him. So we got that Super Speedway Lazy Susan going on.
Yeah, for sure. And now you got Eric Stoy up there pushing the 6. We've seen him do some great pushing tonight, mostly on that outside line, him and Durkee, but now they're going to rule the roost on the inside, at least for a little while, as the outside, you got Curtis Critchley in the 27 being pushed by the 8 of Rowdy Puckett there.
Oh, as we almost get a little bit of contact, that bottom line coming up just a little bit as they exited turn number 2. But everybody able to hang on and keep her under control as we're now on lap 14, about to go on to lap 15 here. And with 75% fuel, Alan, I think a fuel run's probably, right around the 20 to 25 lap mark?
Yeah, I'm not sure they'll make it halfway. This is a 60-lap race. They're not going to make it halfway. Let's put it that way. So, what do you do here? There's no yellow coming out. So, do you try to split it into a 3-stop race? That's kind of what I'd be thinking right now. Tires are not really of any concern at this point, so you could even pull it in now. Just throw on 2 right sides, maybe gas it up and go.
Well, not only that, but then you got to start bringing that team aspect into it. Do you have any teammates up here in this lead pack if you're here? You know, if your teammates, like I know Cody Staten has Zachary Staten, but Zach Staten's quite a bit of a ways off, you know, so he doesn't immediately have him, but he's also got other teammates there around with him. But you definitely cannot come down to pit road alone. You need somebody to come with you.
Absolutely. And if you don't have a teammate with you, I mean, these guys are going to key up on the radio anyway to let everybody know, hey, I'm pitting, you know, so don't hit me type situation. So once you see guys start to go kind of single file to the inside line so they can get to pit road, start listening for a little bit of radio chatter. You might hear them saying, hey, you know, the 64's pitting or whatever, maybe the 110 will go with them, that kind of situation. I'm noticing quite a bit of rear bumper damage on a few of these machines. The one truck The 20 truck got some rear end damage, but as long as you stay in the draft, a little bit of rear damage is not really going to hinder you.
No, it really shouldn't. And even at that,
A little front damage, yeah.
Yeah, if you do get a yellow, you don't even need to use a fast repair on that. You can just get that done naturally. You might lose a few spots, but that's all right. As we come up on some lap traffic here, let's jump into a roll bar cam here with Joshua Moore, who's been doing a great job up here at the front, currently sitting in 5th as they catch up to these lap cars. You can just see how dicey it's gonna get as they're gonna split it 3 wide, and just watch how he's got to almost manhandle that wheel to keep that truck straight.
Yeah, I love the roll bar camera and the gyro camera because you kind of get to see what these guys are seeing, and the gyro camera, you kind of get to see the banking of it. iRacing does such a great job putting these cameras, where, they would be if you were watching a race on television. So we love watching from driver's perspective. And it's nerve-wracking out there. Trust me, folks, if you've never driven one of these trucks in a plate race like this, 3 wide going 180, 185
Ooh, as we got a truck up there in the wall, grinding that thing down to the bare metal, getting all the paint off of it that he can, but able to keep it up there and not bounce back down the track, as we were still trying to shuffle through who's a lap car and who's not in this giant gaggle of a beast of a pack.
And that'll kind of sort itself out over time. You're going to know who the lap cars are. At least the drivers will, because they'll be able to look at that relative part of their screen. There's a little black box. They can look and see who's a lap ahead of them, who's a lap behind them, who's on the lap with them, who they're fighting for position. So these guys definitely pay attention to that tonight.
So we're about to come on to lap 19 of 60, and I know we started talking about it a bit about pit stops that we know are going to be coming up here relatively soon. But right now, if you're on that outside line, you better be making sure you have that fuel to make it a couple extra laps, just in case you can't drop down to that bottom line, because, man, it is nose to tail for at least 10, maybe even 13 rows.
Yeah, you'll see some wheeling and dealing going on here soon. It's almost worth losing a few positions to try to find a gap and get down, just so you don't run out of fuel, or go a couple laps more on tires than you want to. I mean, tires ain't really a deal here, but Richard Michelob Gray trying to peek inside of Derek Puckett, but didn't have the momentum. Didn't have a big enough run. They're 3 wide back here with the 1 machine. The 60 of Kyle Jackson on the outside as they resolve that and go back 2 wide.
And Richard Gray in that 110 truck, newcomer to the league, joined after watching the action of last week, is now up 12 spots in 8th as of right now, and he's definitely one of the ones to keep your eye out on for a hard charger, as we still got a few people that are right around that number, but if I know anything, that 110, he loves these super speedway races, so definitely a name to keep your eye on. Same thing.
That outside line's making a run.
Yes, it is, with that 51 of Joshua Moore right there. We saw him, he was sitting in 5th a few rows back, and look at that, now shuffled his way up to the front. And with these pit stops coming, you either want to be all the way in the back or all the way up at the front. You do not want to be somewhere in the middle trying to come down pit road with a whole bunch of cars, as, man, that 27 squeezes his way to that outside.
Seeing a little bit of side drafting going on, too, from the guys in that upper line coming down, throwing a little extra air on the spoiler of those trucks running inside of them. Heard a little bit of radio chatter. We may...
Oh, boy, talk about a snap loose save right there.
Here they come.
Yeah, so we're starting to see some of these guys come down. It looks... Got some beating and banging up here at the front between the 51 and the 15. Man, normally we don't see tires come into effect, but do you think these guys are starting to feel some effects from used tires a little bit?
They might. I mean, these guys getting all this air pulled off their nose. They may have to put a little extra wheel in it. They might be wearing them tires on a touch, but this is one of those tracks. If you want to take 2 under green, go ahead and do it. I think you'll be okay. So one machine, Derek Welch coming down. Derek Welch has a fan on YouTube also.
As here we go, we got pack number 2 coming on down, but Brad Taylor and Paul Ferdiani staying out. Those two, they're right now side by side, and if they just see everybody pit, man, I would single file out to try to not lose as much speed as what they might, because I mean, you just went from 30 cars right around that inside of each other to now we got 6 all right around, and just all those extra cars, it makes up for that, 0.01 as we got a little bit of contact.
I reckon going into the pits a little bit, but they kept it straight. So if you're one of these guys staying out in the front that hasn't pitted yet, how far do you push it? How far do you go? Do you run that thing till it's empty and wait for a caution?
Oh man, it's a tough call. As we do start to have people sliding on down now. So that's going to leave, I believe Brad Taylor's coming down. Yep, same thing with Paul. Yep. So I think that's going to let Henry Wyndham, he's all alone right now in third. Based on how things are going to happen down pit road, he will inherit the lead here. He's currently up 21 spots, but he does still have to pit.
He has no drafting partner up there either, I don't believe.
Yeah, so Henry Wyndham in that 28 coming down pit road now is the 27 of Curtis Critchley. Has a little bit of a crowd with him. He's got the 51 of Joshua Moore and the 15 of Cody Staten, so a little 3-car pack here. And this is going to be your top 3 as of right now coming across the line. However, they do have another smaller pack of about 4 or 5 cars sitting right there behind them, led by the 6 of Paul Durkee. And man, they are making up ground quick, and here they are already caught right on up to him.
Doesn't look like Lawson or McMillan have pitted yet. They're hoping for a caution too. You can be for sure on that. A little bit of coordination going on the radio. Who wants to push who? We like hearing that between the teams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the 6 and the 20. Oh, man, almost ran into an issue there with that lap truck. The lap truck was able to kind of go down to the inside grass as everyone was doing. I mean, they were doing a solid 30 to 40 miles an hour quicker than what he was doing there, as Michael Grenold's having a little bit of an issue there at some point.
Scott Langford pulling for Turboville. All the old YouTubes. Alabama Old Man pulling for the One Machine. One Machine, of course, Derek Welch out there running. Numb Thumbs Racing Team. They got all kinds of support tonight on YouTube. Appreciate you guys watching and pulling for those Numb Thumbs Racing guys out there on the track.
And not only that, but we also got to give another shout out to our proud sponsor of Triple T's Custom PCs. So waiting for that logo to come back around. There it is. Definitely reach out to them on Facebook, as they will build you a very good PC to your specs that you want at very reasonable prices. And last time we were both looking on there, Alan, the first 5 sold are actually going to be built for free, so no building fee?
Yeah, he's going to throw in some assembly on those machines, the first 5 orders I think he gets. And keep in mind, he's one of those guys that he knows how to find the hard-to-find parts, because right now it's kind of hard to get a hold of some of these GPUs and some of these other parts. If you really want to build a smooth running rig to run something that requires a lot of performance out of a PC, something very graphics intensive, like iRacing, or if you do any kind of other simulators. I do a lot of Microsoft Flight Sim, and you really got to have a top setup to run those games at the high graphics settings. So reach out to Triple T's custom PCs, and they can get you fixed up.
And thank you to them for sponsoring this league, as we now have a yellow flag out there.
Our competition caution, I believe. We're pretty close to halfway here. I didn't see any incident on the track, so I believe this is going to serve as their competition caution.
I'm showing that Eddie Murray had jumped to the pits, but I'm not seeing anything crazy go on here. Nope, I got nothing. So
nope, I didn't see a thing.
We'll jump back live and get everybody all grouped back together. You know what? That's what I forgot. I remember last year. I don't think they had competition yellows, and but here tonight we do. So that's going to allow everybody in the field to catch back on up. Maybe get that pit stop here once again, and we'll be just over halfway once we get back to this green flag racing. And I mean, for the most part, everyone's done a pretty good job. I mean, we saw some gaps kind of open up just due to that opening issue and whatnot. But I mean, other than that, everyone's done fairly well.
We've seen a few machines get a little bit side to side, get a little bit squirrely holding the line, but I mean, for the most part, these guys are doing a pretty damn good job. There's going to be some of that. I mean, a lot of these guys haven't raced together before, so they might, be fairly new to plate racing and not used to being right on somebody's bumper and trying to follow them, because you really got to pay attention to what that truck in front of you is doing. So it's hard. Make no mistake, it's hard to keep a line in these things. At least for me.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure. And it looks like the leader, Curtis Critchley, is going to come on down into pit lane. Cody Staten is not going to come down into pit lane. He's going to stay out. And he's going to be one of the very few that stay out by the looks of it, how everything's kind of cycling around here.
So some of these guys are going to stick to that two-stop strategy. They're going to hope for another caution probably around lap, what would that be? Around lap 40, I guess.
I would say probably 45 to 50.
45 to 50. Okay. Yeah, because these guys didn't really pit right at 20, did they? They pit a little bit like 22, 23. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm caught back up now. Sometimes I look away from the live scoring for too long. And thanks, Numb Thumbs, for the compliment on YouTube. We really do appreciate it. We're doing the best we can here. And it's tough being a man short, ain't it?
Oh, man. I haven't talked this much in a while. I mean, I'm a truck driver here in real life, and I don't talk at all day. I'm alone and don't have nothing to really say. But, and then you and Adam tend to go off into your own little worlds, which is awesome. And
or tangents.
And but it's tough talking and hitting buttons, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and I don't even have to hit any buttons. I'm just reading social media stuff, But yeah, Turner's missed tonight. He'll be back with us next week for sure, and I'm sure he's having withdrawals already. I know how much he loves to do this too.
Oh yeah, it's especially at these plate tracks, because I mean, plate tracks and short tracks, that's where you see his favorite word, and that's anger.
Yeah, anger and fights, and what does he say? Throwing helmets and throwing hands.
Oh,
maybe throwing wrenches in the garage area, but
yeah,
for sure. Not a whole lot of high drama tonight so far.
So far, no. We've seen a little close instances, maybe with some lap traffic. I mean, we saw there a little earlier in this run was, we had some lap traffic down low, some lap traffic up high, and the leaders had to kind of navigate through it. But it didn't look like it affected them all that much. But with this competition yellow, we now got more than 26 26-ish, 26 trucks back on that lead lap, getting everybody all caught up and group back up, which is even more important because, I mean, it'd be interesting to watch this restart here, knowing that, seeing what happens. We had that incident right there, right at the start, maybe some spinning of tires or something like that, sending a truck down and across the track, and people checked up, and so everything got all spread out. But you saw once one of those, everybody got up to speed and right around each other, we had some great passing and moves, and not even like aggressive, just solid flow to how everything was moving along.
Absolutely. Guys were really paying attention to where their gaps were and not trying to, stick a square peg in a round hole and trying to jam something in there that wouldn't fit. But good to see Derek Welch got his lap back. So the one machine, the one truck back on the lead lap. That'll make Alabama old man happy.
So right now, up at the front, we got Cody Staten and Rob Chowdhury. These two up 10 and 16 collectively. So they're going to have a great look at the front rather than kind of there in the middle. Brad's doing pretty well up there in third. Curtis Critchley and Joshua Moore up there as well, fourth and fifth. Kyle Jackson doing a pretty good job up there in sixth. I mean, not to mention, a fan favorite typically every week, the 10 of Stone Hutchinson. He's up there 14th, 15th spot right now, up 13 or 14. So he's doing a pretty good job. Same thing with Brian Skidmore. I mean, it's tough to say, when you're sitting 21st, up, normally that would be like, oh man, that's rough. But when you're in 21st and up 14 spots, I mean, that's ain't nothing to shrug your shoulders about. As a pace truck's going to be coming down pit road here.
Bay Area Rob, watch him on that outside line. He's leading that outside line. Let's see if he gets some help from the 27 and the 60 machine of Jackson.
As we come back through this tri-oval once again here, getting ready to take to this green flag. And here we go, green flag racing here once again at Talladega. Man, great restart there for the 15. And again, unfortunately, though, as good of a restart as it is, he really doesn't have anyone right there behind him. So everyone's going to be catching up to him with a pretty large run. Let's see if Brad stays right there behind him. Looks like it will, but that's also going to allow the 51 of Joshua Moore scooch up to that kind of top middle line as we are 3 wide behind them here. And everybody going back green here. And I didn't see any issues whatsoever on that restart.
No, we saw Rob in the 408 move to that upper line, and he's letting the whole field by. I'm not sure if he got stuck there or if he chose to go up there and let everybody by, but they're sure taking advantage. The whole field's coming around, it looks like.
As the 27 continues to push the 51 of Joshua Moore, doing a great job. The 51 squeezing down right in front of Cody Staten. So he's jumping back in front there, down low. But now you got the 27 having a little bit of help from the 60 of Kyle Jackson. We haven't seen Kyle up here all that much. We saw him kind of shuffle around in that middle area, but now he's up front trying to push that 27, maybe trying to get him a run himself to maybe both of them jump down like that.
Wow. That's a bold move there. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm looking at the scoring, the live timing right, the 15 of Cody Staten has yet to pit.
I believe Cody Staten has pitted it. I think he pitted right around that 22-23 mark. It just didn't trigger. So, but he did stay out on that yellow, on that competition yellow. So he did not pit during that time.
Roger that. Yeah, sometimes the live timing doesn't always reflect exactly what's happening on the track as we see again tonight. So.
Oh my lord! One of these camera angles, it aims straight down like the back straightaway and whatnot.
Oh, like the blimp view or something?
Kind of, but like on like a track level. And
Oh, okay. Like on the wall, yeah.
And man, for how many cars, or I should say trucks we got here today, it looked like the dang pack went from corner to corner between the exit of 2 and the entrance of 3.
Wow.
Got a huge pack here as the 60 continues to work on that bottom line, but even more, the 27, I don't know why he moved up to that middle line, but we're now 3 wide up here at the front. We got the 60 down low, the 27 in the middle, and the 51 on that far outside line. And every single line's got at least 1 or 2 trucks trying to help out there as the 51 moving his way down across both lines all the way down to the bottom.
Where do you like to run here? I know you've done some plate racing. Do you just go where the faster lines are, or do you have a preferred line?
Oh man, I kind of run this one like I do on a highway. Is I just pick a line for a while and I stick with it. I might lose some positions, I might gain some positions, but just kind of relaxing in a little comfort zone there, you know. And because I mean, all these guys know, you know, they're counting down the laps. They know they still got at least one, you know, they got a pit stop left here to go. You know, there's no reason to really push the envelope too much. And you know, just like in real life, you'd be surprised if you just stick to that right-hand lane. If you're ever in that stop-and-go traffic, you'd be surprised at how much further you'll go than trying to zigzag through it. Oh man, as that was close, as the 27 drifts down in front of the 51, and it looked like the 60 almost followed him down as well, but he was not quite clear yet. As the 3 wide, I think, is starting to calm down a little bit. We still have 1 truck there on that outside line, I think, just waiting for that gap to form up.
Rowdy Puckett tucking his way in behind the 10 of Stone Hutchinson here.
Look at that. Stone Hutchinson up 19 spots now, having a great run there in that Tide truck. Doing a great job as the 51 continues to push the 27 of Curtis Critchley across the line. But here we go again. Back to 3 wide race in action up at the front. Kyle Jackson getting a big time push from the 31/13 of Rick Spencer Walt there.
Big Donnie 75-75 pulling for the 64 machine out there today of Donnie Turboville. How many? This is to the guys on YouTube watching. How many cautions you think we're going to have? You think we'll have maybe 1 more towards the end? You think there will be a couple more? You think we're going to go green the rest of the way? What do you guys think? Let us know on YouTube.
Oh, as we got contact cars up into the wall.
Uh-oh. Might have just answered that question.
Green flag's still out. Everyone checked up. So that's going to kind of split this pack here once again, almost dead even in half. I did not see exactly who that was and what issue kind of went on there, but thankfully everyone able to look like shuffle through okay. As Kyle Jackson here in the 60 drops down to that bottom line to take control of there, being pushed by the 15 of Cody Staton.
So here comes some predictions from our YouTube folks. They're answering us here now. Scott Langford said we'll have 1 more. So does Tower Operator. Alabama Old Man said maybe 2. Numb Thumbs Gaming also says we'll probably have 2 more. D Bear says we'll have 2 more.
Ooh, as we got a wiggly truck there, Joshua Moore. They're starting to wreck a little bit, but they're going down onto the apron. I don't believe Yellow's waving for that one as well. So everybody's shuffled down to the apron, and we're still green flag running here.
I saw Josh Moore and the 110 of Richard Gray look like we're involved together there. Josh Moore's got some damage on the right, left rear of that machine. Let's see if he can keep it rolling, get back up to speed here, maybe find him a drafting partner.
So that's kind of cutting down this lead pack a little bit there. That happening very close to the front. So the 27 of Curtis Critchley and the 60 of Kyle Jackson currently up there all alone. And
run by the 20.
The 20 having a great run there.
Looks like he's running out of gas, though.
He does have a little bit of help.
Rowdy Bucket. Maybe they can get the 10 of Stone to get up there and help him. It doesn't look like they're going to get it.
Ah, there comes Stone.
Oh, here he comes. He heard us, I guess.
Yeah, so they're going to kind of split this thing. We're going to be 3 wide for, a couple rows here. It looks like that 20 able to get that run. Oh, not quite.
Easy, Derek. Not clear.
Easy. It's also got...
man.
Woo, boy, but that everybody's able to somehow get through that as we're 4 wide here for a second. Stone Hutchinson, man, he could not get closer to that wall if he tried, as the 20 of Justin Lawson manages to find his way all the way down to that bottom line from the top line. And we're still 3 wide racing here. The 8 of Derek Rowdy Puckett kind of stuck there, but he's also looking like he's going to be getting a little bit of help here coming up from behind.
Yeah, the 51 was headed that way, and the 18 kind of crowded him up there, and the 51, not sure what was going to happen there, and scraped the wall. Carol Hansley says we're going to go green the rest of the way. Very optimistic. And hey, a little explanation. The reason we haven't seen any automatic yellows, they do not do automatic yellows. They take a look at the situation. If it involves more than a couple of trucks, they'll throw it then. But they're not going to throw one for, if a truck or two spin and they get down off of the racing surface, they're not going to throw that yellow. So the goal is to keep the racing as exciting as possible and get as many green laps in as possible. There's Puckett by himself again.
And the 10 of Stone looking like he's trying to maybe join him on that outside, but just can't quite get the run as he's squeezing down to that middle line, trying to get every single breath of side draft he can.
Jackson got into Stone. They kept it together, but Jackson got rear-ended by the 15 of Cody Stanton. So Stanton's going to have some front end damage. He better watch those temperatures.
Oh, man, so that almost completely blew up what bubble we had up there at that front. Everyone's all single-filed out. Look, we were solidly 2 wide, occasionally popping 3 wide there, and it's now going to take a little bit of time to get back to just 2 wide with Curtis Kirchley out in front here. You got the 31 of Brad Taylor. Haven't really said his name that much tonight. He's been having a pretty good run. Same thing with the 7 of Rick LePage. He's up 11 right now, sitting there in 12th, kind of in the thick of this as we're almost 4 wide here, just a couple rows back from the leader. That's going to involve the 4 of Eric Stoy, winner from last week.
Yeah, look at Stoy and Durkee flying up on the outside line. Starting to kind of run out of momentum, though.
Oh, but the 10 of Stone Hutchinson looking to that outside, trying to maybe catch up and join them and give them that little extra push as that middle line's starting to fall apart a little bit here as more and more trucks move up to that top line. But now you've got some help there from the 20 moving up to that middle line, trying to help out the 8. Now he's going to jump all the way up in front of Stone.
Speaking of the 20, Justin Lawson out there in that 20 number 20 truck. Kayla Lawson pulling for you on YouTube, so thank you, Kayla, for coming on there and supporting Justin. 3 wide back here. 3 or 4 rows deep, 3 wide. Oh man, this is where I start. This is where I start getting white knuckles holding this microphone in my hand because Stone's scraping the wall. He's sliding way back quick.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's a big-time loss of momentum. If he's not careful, he will lose the draft here as the 6 getting a big-time push here once again from the 4, trying to get clear of the 8 of Derek Puckett there. And they will. Holy,
clear to the bottom.
Talk about a run there on that outside line. Just the push of a century there from Eric Stoy.
And that's a 2-truck group. I mean, they're a tandem crew, the 6 and the 4. We saw them go use that outside line and pass, 10, 12 trucks to take the lead?
As the 8 goes down right in front of the 27 and wasn't clear and spun himself across his bumper. So that's going to leave Mr. Rowdy Puckett out kind of in no man's land there.
He kind of pancaked the inside wall. He does have some heavy right rear damage. Looks like he's having a hard time steering that machine too. Oh, he smacks the inside wall again. Come on, Rowdy, get that thing around the track and down pit road and get her fixed, boy.
Yeah, so Paul Durkee and Eric Stoy having a great run here. These two kind of leading that charge in that middle lane. They've been clear and haven't dropped down. I think they might have been worried about the 20 catching a run and making their way around them, but so now that little bit of a run that they had has all disappeared as that bottom line in the 27 all catch back up.
Check out the 13 truck. Rick Spencer Walt up 17 positions, sitting in 4th place right now. What a run to the front he's had. He's been pretty patient, and it's taken him all race to get up there, but great track position right now for the 13 of Rick Spencer Walt.
You know what? That's what it's going to be all about here as we got 15 laps to go. And it's at this point, I think, we're going to start to maybe see people think about coming down into the pits. Definitely within, I'm going to say, within the next 5 laps. You don't want to wait and pit only with 5 laps to go. That's really not the time you want to do it.
And I'll say this, Alan, you're pretty damn good at calling it. And you said between 45 and 50 you'll start to see guys come down. I think you're probably right on the money there. Let's see if these guys start trying to jockey for position and get on that low line to make it to pit road.
And as we continue to tick laps away here, going through the tri-oval, man, that 6 of Paul Durkee and the 4 of Eric Stoy have been a team to not mess with. And they've got some help there with the 20 of Justin Lawson as well, as they're going to start catching up to some lap traffic. A little beating and banging, big wreck behind them.
Big one. It's a big one here.
It's the big one.
Yellow here.
And that should throw out the yellow flag. And I don't see one quite yet. There it is.
There it is. That was between the 19. Who was that?
I also got the 61 involved of Kyle Hackett.
The 19 and the 10 bounced off of each other.
Oh, man. Yeah, this 61 is actually the kind of the I don't want to say the spark to it. It looked like the 10 got into his rear quarter, spun him out a little bit, little jiggly, and next thing you know, all carnage.
Yeah, once the chain reaction starts, hey, that's the thing with plate racing, once a chain reaction starts in front of you, you can just get on the brakes, but you're still going to hit somebody. I mean, they can't stop as fast as they need to avoid big wrecks in front of them like that. It's just the nature of plate track racing. I mean, anybody that watches this sport enough knows something going on in front of you. Just try to go where they ain't. Try to find a gap somewhere and ride it out. A lot of damaged trucks out there. A lot of fast repairs about to be used. Hopefully, some of these guys saved one.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention, this yellow throws strategy just about all out the window. It's going to be all about track position at this point.
So you're going to see a bunch of folks come down and get gas here. Probably not a lot of guys getting tires or anything, so they can maybe make up some track position, because there's going to be some guys that forget to uncheck those tires.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make a few spots here if you don't take any, or just take 2.
As I believe the real life NASCAR would say, this would be the money stop. How much extra fake iRacing dollars did you pay your pit crew today?
No kidding. Yeah, you got to have a good spot. You got to get in your box clean. You can't speed. You got to get out of your box without hitting anybody, because it's crowded down there, and not speed coming out, and don't hit the cone. There's all these things are running through your head as you're making your stop. It's not really a time to relax, except for the split second where they're throwing gas in your truck.
As the 27 of Curtis Critchley with a great pit stop there. It looks like Kyle Jackson also able to just beat out Paul Durkee there. It looked like maybe Paul took just 2 tires only, and then Justin Lawson did pretty good as well. Same thing with Cody Staten, but Almost an 8-second flat pit stop there for the 27.
Yeah, he probably didn't take a full fuel load. He just took enough to get him, 12 laps or so.
Just enough for the end and some extra.
Yep, that's right. I believe there is going to be one attempt at a green-white checker. I think that's how they have this race set up. We will soon find out.
I thought these guys had 2 or 3.
They may. I'm sorry about that, folks. I should have looked at it before I jumped in the session.
But either way, all I know is when we go back to green flag racing, it's going to be right around that 10 to go mark, and it's time. No matter how safe you've been driving and maintaining your truck and just making all the right moves, trying to purposely, not make any enemies out there or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's time where you got to put those feelings aside, and it's gonna start getting aggressive. Not that it hasn't been aggressive, but even more so. I think we're gonna see a deeper run going 3 wide rather than just a few trucks here and there.
If Adam Turner is watching the race tonight, he's waiting until right about now to turn it on, because he knows, hey, this is when the aggressive stuff starts. This is where the drama starts. Just a few short laps to go. They'll probably go green with 10 to go, I believe. Maybe 11 to go. We'll see here as they come around. Eventually getting to the start-finish line. This track is just massive. I feel bad for the guys who have to spot here trying to see across to the other side of the track. It's just insane how huge this track is, and you can see it from this overhead view.
Oh, I know. It'd almost be worth it to, hire a private helicopter or something to fly fly over the action, and whenever it needs to be refueled, just be like, all right, you're on your own, just stay there.
Drone something.
Yeah, because this track is very large, and I know there's a highway that runs just outside of it, and you can kind of see the dunes of the behind the turns here, and from the outside it doesn't look that big, but once when you go to the inside, man, it's a different story.
And you can see where the old runways and stuff used to be. This used to be an Air Force base back in the old SAC days, and from that overhead view right there, you can see where the runways cross there. They got a heck of a deal on this piece of land years and years ago when they bought it to build this track. The Department of Defense wasn't using it anymore, so.
Man, you ain't kidding. You learn something new every day. I did not know that.
Yeah, used to be old Air Force base back in the day.
It's just like,
I think it was a SAC base. I'm pretty sure. Strategic Air Command for you non-Air Force people.
It's just like I know, Sebring, I believe, is still actually an active airfield. They just sectioned off a good section of that area for the racing surface and whatnot. But it's just, it makes sense. Racetracks and airports both take up a lot of room.
Yeah. And all you folks out there listening and watching, make sure and support the people who support this broadcast. So check out Triple T's Custom PCs on Facebook. They'll give you a free quote on whatever kind of machine you want built before they build it. So looks like we're going back green here in just a second.
That we are, as we head through the tri-oval once again here. Everybody's ready, and you know what time it is. It's time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, and throw inhibition out the window. We are back to green flag racing here with 10 laps to go here at Talladega with this Triple T's Custom PCs 160. Kyle Hackett having a great restart, up 30 spots there in the lead. He's got the 6 of Paul Durkee sitting right there behind him. The 27 of Curtis Critchley, however, is not going to take that one laying down. He's going to try to make every effort possible to move that top line up to and in front of him, as he's getting some help there from the 60 of Kyle Jackson.
And stick around after the race. We're going to interview the top 3 finishers about the race tonight, their thoughts. not just on this race, but going forward in this season, the Super Speedway season of HCK Beagles. Looks like we got another truck moving to the outside here, trying to make it work. That looks like the 31.
It's the actually 13 of Rick
I'm
Spencer
sorry,
Wall. His truck number and his iRacing number don't quite add up, but you know what? That's kind of how it goes sometimes. He's now got some help there. It looks like the 60 hopping out to that outside line, trying to maybe make this 3-wide thing work out up here at the front. Oh, as he tags the wall just a little bit, that's going to lose a little bit of time, but also allow some trucks maybe in front of him to jump out that were thinking about it, but maybe thought maybe it was a little too close up there for them. But now you got some more trucks. You get the one trying to sneak his way up there. It looks like you got a, I believe that's the 5 or the 8. No, the 5's down low. The 67 trying to get something going out there as well. So we got a whole slew of guys right here in the middle. They know it's crunch time, as we got some wiggling going on out on that outside.
That got pretty intense between the 19 and the 60, as they were touching corners there. Pretty clean right now, but yeah, it's getting aggressive now, folks.
Yeah, with 8.
If you're just tuning in, you tuned in at the right time here to watch this one.
Yeah, with 8 laps here left to go. Paul Durkee in that middle line, being pushed by the 20 of Justin Lawson, having a great run there. He was clear for just a moment if he wanted to drop down, but he will not be able to. So the 27 of Curtis Critchley now moving on up, and look who's pushing him, the 51 of Joshua Moore. We've seen these two kind of lazy Susan their way around the front of the field just about all dang race until that 51 kind of ran into some issues. But he is now back up there towards the front, trying to get the best possible finish he can here today with 7 laps to go.
Also, keep your eye on that 4 machine, Eric Stoy. We know he knows how to push. So he's going to kind of try to pick and choose who he wants to push here at the end, as he's not able to get to the back bump of the 6 right now because the 20's pushing him.
Oh, as we get a little bit of loose and people trying to play follow the leader there, kind of just follow him around, ping-ponging off of the middle line, and thankfully had a little bit of room to that outside wall, so it's not going to hurt them too bad, but they did lose a bunch of momentum.
And the good thing about these trucks, they don't stick to the wall like an ARCA car, so if you do scrape the wall, you're not stuck to it permanently. You can kind of get off of it just slightly. Hey, the Rowdy Bucket on the middle line, now bouncing out to the outside, trying to get somebody to go with him.
Oh, and people thinking about it, but then diving right back in. I think maybe just trying to throw out that arrow parachute there to try to slow that one down as the 20 goes around.
Big wreck right here in the middle.
Oh, we got cars flying. We got, man, I think that was a 67 or going up and down all over. So that's going to bring out the yellow flag.
Wow. Big wreck there.
That's us.
Well, for all of y'all that said 2 cautions, that'd be Alabama Old Man, Numb Thumbs, D. Bear.
We take another look at this, try to see what happened here at the 20 of Justin Lawson. Trying to see what happened exactly to him. Oh, was just slightly out of line, and I think the 15 of Staten just had his nose there, and that is exactly what caused all of that carnage. You can see the 20 maybe driving backwards all the way to his pit box after that one.
I noticed that. I also noticed it looked like, was that the 19 that looked like it went into space?
Man, I think it was either the 19 or the 67 of Nathan Stanley. I think it was the 67 of Stanley that it got some hair. Some of those Olympic pole vaulters would be proud of that one.
Yeah, he went into space, and then the 8 flipped over on his lid temporarily and landed back on his wheels going down the racetrack, so it kind of landed just right. He stuck the landing, as they would say in the Olympics. So we're going to restart with just a couple of laps to go. Still able to do a green-white checker after, if necessary.
Yeah, so we're gonna have at least, we're gonna have it by the looks of it and by how pacing's gonna go. I think we're gonna have a green-white checker here. That's gonna be an unofficial green-white checker, and then
Right.
we'll still have those at least one more attempt that we know of.
So a couple of these guys kind of thinking about maybe coming in to get a splash of gas, possibly, if they didn't give themselves enough room to go past the 60 lap mark, because that can happen. We've witnessed it. Guys
Yes.
running out of gas with the lap to go, or even 2 laps to go. I've seen guys run out of fuel.
Oh, I mean, not only that, but running out of gas when you're entering that tri-oval. It's
Yep, that's right.
Just that extra, 500 feet that you have left that you don't have any fuel to get going. Man, that's the difference between first and 15th.
Yeah, thanks to all y'all that are watching on YouTube and Twitch tonight. Sorry once again for our Facebook stream not being up. Hopefully everybody made their way over to the other streams. We got a little built-in redundancy for just that, just in case something like this happens. But normally when we're on Facebook, we love when you guys share and like our videos. That way it gets more exposure. Maybe we could pull in some more sponsors. This is going to be an exciting second season here in HCK Beagles, and the sponsors we've been getting so far: Triple T's Custom PCs. Last week with Muhleberger Custom Homes. I mean, they're really pulling in some great sponsors this year, and we're really excited for the future of this league.
Absolutely, and even behind the scenes, sounds like they've got even more stuff coming up. That's going to be exciting to announce when we get more word about that. And just all in all, man, this league, which I mean, last season was their inaugural season, and it dang near couldn't have gone too much better. I know didn't have quite the car count that they do now, but still, it's when something's good, it's hard to fix stuff that really isn't that broken.
Yeah, that's for sure. And these guys are racing for money at the end of the season, man. That there's payouts coming, and good size payouts thanks to the sponsors and stuff coming on board. So it's great to see big car counts out here. These guys have skin in the game, so they're going to go out there and just try to gain every position you can. You've noticed you haven't seen a bunch of people quitting this race, have you?
No, not at all.
I don't think I've seen a single person disconnect, because they're out there. Every position matters in a season this long. This is a 20-race schedule. Josh Kelleher, thanks for coming on board tonight on YouTube, pulling for the 73. 73 Racing Team pulling hard for you here in Salt Lake, I should say. NTG Racing. Slingshot engaged. And of course, None Thumbs Gaming Community saying let's go NTR, pulling for their drivers out there. It's exciting to see people get excited about this online racing stuff that's really, really caught on here in the past couple of years. It really is exciting to watch, and I love seeing stuff like this. It's good family fun. We've seen brothers on here racing, fathers and sons, racing together, uncles and nephews in other leagues. It really is fun to watch, and glad it's caught on. And it's something that families can do together, and then they can watch themselves on YouTube and Facebook and stuff, and share with the relatives, and give them something to talk about over the Christmas break here.
Oh, absolutely. Not only that, but just the level of competition here. It's everybody's an average Joe. They're especially here. So, and all these trucks are on a fixed setup, so everyone's even playing field. Is all just driver skill based, and kind of, especially here at these super speedways, kind of where luck is kind of whether in your favor or not, as the pace car goes down pit lane here once again. You got Eric Stoy and Paul Durkee side by side up here at the front. We saw them working earlier together, but now they are separated side by side. Going back to green flag racing here, coming across the line, going to have 2 laps to go, and man, that outside line got a great jump on that one. Paul Durkee jumping down in front of that 4, able to get that great push that the 27 was offering. So Paul Durkee now leads this race, but the 51 moves up from 3rd on that bottom line, up to that back bumper of the 27 to try to get that top line going here once again as we head down this back straightaway. Man, that 27 and 51 have been all over each other all race long, and they are working together extremely hard here. I think realizing they need to help each other out a little bit before they kind of finish this one off, just to give themselves the best opportunity at a win. As looks like the 51 getting a little bit of a push here. We didn't say his name yet here tonight. That's going to be the 69 of Little Limmer, Gregory Turner, the boss man himself, running up front right now. Great run from him as we're going to be coming across that checkered line. White flags waving, so no more yellows. We're going to finish this one on this lap, no matter what happens here through this field. As looks like we got that top line trying to make a run coming down here.
Oh, we got some wrecking in the middle.
Ooh, big time wreck. That's going to cut this field down into about a 3rd as we're 4 wide here going down this back straightaway. Big contact up at the front, losing the 69 of Turner and quite a few others. The 51 of Joshua Moore able to stay out of that one. It looks like maybe the 27 of Curtis Critchley able to avoid that one as well. So we're coming out of turn number 4 down here into this trioval. The 13 of Rick Spencer Walt coming down here across the line. He's going to be side by side with the 51 of Joshua Moore, so it's going to be the 13 followed by the 51 and then the 20.
What a finish. We knew, you could feel the tension brewing as we saw the 15 of Cody Stant shooting up the middle, doing that side drafting trick we talked about. And, it just got real crowded when he got up towards the front. And sometimes there's just not enough room for all those trucks to be in the same spot, and accidents happen. Man, that finish did not disappoint.
It did not. In the 31 or 13, I don't know what number to call him, but all I know is Rick Spencer Walt walks away here with the win. And believe it or not, he is not going to be the hard charger of the day. Wait till we start running through the rest of the field here, guys, as we after the interviews. You're going to be surprised at who actually did that, got the hard charger, because it's a ridiculous number.
What a great second race. What a great race for Triple T's Custom PCs to sponsor. We got quite a few viewers tonight. Thank all of you so much for liking and sharing our video on YouTube and on Twitch. We'll be back on Facebook next week, hopefully, if they can get their stuff together over there. But man, what a finish. Hopefully get some driver interviews here before too long.
Yeah, it looks like we do have people ready to go. So let's start off here with our second place finisher. That's going to be the 51 of Joshua Moore. I know last week wasn't quite your week last week, Josh, but this week a whole different story. We saw you all around up at the front there. And I mean, even especially coming down to that kind of, green, white, yellow, checkered finish there towards the end, just able to stay out in front of the craziness and whatnot, and even coming back there from a little bit of an issue. But talk to us a little bit about how Dega went, and man, it was a great one to watch from up here.
Yeah, it was really fun. I thought it was a good race, pretty competitive. My teammate, his power ended up going out very beginning of the race, so sad he didn't get to race.
That's a shame. We know that a lot of people, we mentioned it early in the broadcast, all over the United States right now experiencing a lot of wind and weather events and a lot of power outages going on. Who is Joel to you? Because Joel Moore really pulling for you on YouTube tonight, saying, way to go, Joshua, and congratulations.
Yeah, he's my dad.
That's awesome. We talked a little bit about, family involvement and stuff in this e-sport, which it really is a sport. I mean, it's very competitive. And speaking of competitive, next week is going to be iRacing Superspeedway, and we've seen how competitive you guys are on that track. It's long, it's got super high banks, and it's going to be 60 laps there. You guys going to do some practice for it, and do you feel good about it?
Yeah, I think that one should go pretty good too. We'll get some practice in, and hopefully my teammate will actually be back for this one. And I want to thank Cody and Zach for being there tonight. They were up front a lot of the time. They did pretty good.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on finishing in second here tonight. Looked like it was going to be an interesting drag race to the end, which it definitely did not disappoint, and we can't wait to see what you can pull out the hat next week at iRacing Superspeedway.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Alrighty, now let's move down one spot to the 20 of Justin Lawson here, having himself a pretty solid race, finishing in third. Justin, that was a pretty good race, I think, all in all. We had a relatively calm kind of beginning through the middle portion of the race, and then things started to heat up. And, I mean, I think everyone knows how a green-white checkered finish works, and it definitely did not disappoint coming down there to the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was a blast.
Kayla was pulling for you on YouTube, and we really enjoyed watching all the comments on social media tonight. Who is Kayla? Is that your significant other? Or?
Yep, that's my better half. That's my wife.
Awesome. Glad to see her on, and a lot of family interaction. What do you think about next week? iRacing Superspeedway coming up.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Today was a whole lot more fun for me than Daytona was. Had a good time running with Paul. I hate he got shuffled out there at the end, but hooked up with Walt and come back from like 12th place on the last lap and ring rided and got in the top 3.
This is one of those styles of racing where you can do that, and we saw a bunch of people working together great tonight. We saw, I think one of the biggest combos we saw was the 6 of Paul Durkee and the 4 of Eric Stoy worked a lot together tonight. Who was your dancing partner for most of the night? Who were you working really well with out there?
Yeah, so Paul and Rick LePage are my teammates, but me and Paul, we've run other series together, and we run really well together. So that's my primary dancing partner, but I know Rick runs really strong, so whenever I see him, I know if I can latch onto his bumper, we'll probably go somewhere positive. So that's what we try to go for.
And, I mean, just how, especially at races here at like Daytona and Talladega and iRacing Superspeedway, how important is it to actually be able to rely and be around your teammates? I mean, we kind of saw it coming here towards the end. We had little groups of teammates here and there trying to get each other up to the front, and it looked like, I mean, even just if you had 2 trucks together, you could make a move.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Runs and communication with your team is absolutely everything. Having like I said, a dancing partner to come through the field is maybe not necessary, but makes it a whole lot easier.
All right. Well, man, before we let you go, do you got any shout outs you want to put out to the YouTube lands and anything like that?
Oh, just thank you to the lovely wife for your support.
Awesome, Justin. Well, again, congrats on picking up the podium P3 finish here today, and look forward to seeing what you can do next week at IRSS.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And now we get to move on up to our race winner here, Mr. Rick Spencer Walt. I know didn't quite get the result you wanted last week, just finishing short, but you definitely got the result here this week at Talladega. Up 20 spots from where you started, picking up this big-time win, man. Congratulations, and just kind of explain your thought process as this race kind of went along here. It was a little calm there during the middle parts, and definitely heated up towards the end.
Like we might not have Rick on, or he might have a muted microphone. Check your rig there, Rick. See if you got your microphone on. Would love to talk to our race winners, especially a guy like him. I mean, where'd he come from? 21st to 1st? What a run Rick had tonight in that 31 truck. I'd like to talk to him if we can get him. It's not always easy on here, folks, on the old interwebs. We do the best we can with it.
Oh, he just disappeared here, so let's wait to see if he jumps back on here in a second.
Yeah, we'll give him a chance to come back. Have you got us now, Rick?
Yeah, sir, I got you.
All right.
Awesome, man.
Technical difficulties figured out. Sweet.
Few whiskeys deep here, so I was wondering what was going on myself.
Hey, man, the struggle is real. I'm telling you, that's a real deal.
Yeah. I'm a little jacked up, so I got right to the hot tub and the whiskeys, you know?
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man.
Wait, so you're a couple whiskeys in, and you finished this thing. Were you drinking whiskey while driving one of these trucks here at Dega while we're like 3 or 4 wide?
There's a good chance, boys. There's a good chance.
Hey, you got to find that sweet spot, you know, where your focus and everything kicks in, and yeah, that's about 2 in, I think.
Yeah, you just get rid of the shakes, boys, and you hold that wheel straight. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, man, it definitely helped you out tonight, picking up the win. I know you were just shy last week at Daytona, but definitely made it count here tonight. I mean, you had to pick your way up through this field as well. I mean, you're up 20 spots to pick up this win, so kind of explain your strategy a little bit there. Did you want to kind of start towards the back and work your way up, or was it just kind of how the cards fell for you?
No, I think if a lot of people, like I run a couple other leagues, and if you watch them, I always kind of like to start in the back, pick my way to the front. There's always going to be that wreck. I think you just have to expect it. So sometimes what happened at the start was there's a big old check up there, and we just lost touch of the main pack. So it wasn't like it was intentional to be that far back, but no, it's something I kind of like to do. My other teammates love to run up front. As you see, Curtis, he's a beast on these tracks, and he runs up front all day long. And sometimes I don't like to be up in the mix too early because you got 2 quick repairs. You use one, and then you're kind of into it at that point.
Hey, Rick, you're one of our neighbors to the north, I believe. You're from Canada, correct?
Yeah, that's why I'm in that damn hot tub. There's snow all around me.
Well, you gotta do what you can to stay comfortable up there. Hey, are you one of those guys that races in real life, like late models or street stocks or anything?
Yeah, for sure. I actually, not to toot my own horn, but I won 4 championships straight in the last 4 years. I think in the last 8 years of racing or 9 years of racing, we won 7 championships. So it's been, I got an owner, Eldon Wallace owns my team, and we got some great sponsors behind us, and we do a lot of real good stuff in real life. So it's been a blast to get over to iRacing and just learn. It's been a big learning curve because you don't have the feel in your butt as you do in race cars. So it's a lot of just learning the wheel and how much the input. I mean, Dega is just, punch it and go, but a lot of these other tracks, it takes a lot of time and effort, to learn it compared to a real car.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that you run, I'm sure, in your real life track career, not a whole lot of it probably applies to a track like this, but there are some tracks coming up on the schedule, like I believe Michigan and a couple others that weren't run last week, that it may be a little bit more technical than just a trying to run in the draft the whole way. What races on the schedule are you really looking forward to this season?
To be totally honest, I'm real busy right now. I do steel roofing, and obviously we got snow hitting here, so really busy right now. I haven't got a chance to check the schedule out as much as I'd like to. I'd like to get involved with our business and sponsor this league. I think it's a pretty good deal going on, and doing a good job of running it and keeping it under control. It's just, I mean, Michigan's next, so let's focus on that one. I love Michigan. It's a pretty cool track, driver wide open down into 1-2, and it's still a fun track. Lots of draft going on there, and I guess pit strategy will come in there. Hopefully, there's not a bunch of cautions. It should be a good race there also.
Yeah, before we get there, we got to go to iRacing Superspeedway next week, which that track is a bear in and of itself. But really looking forward to watching you next week and throughout the season. So good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I got to thank HCK, the Beagles, that are putting on this league. It's a really well-run league. I hope we gain a bunch of sponsors from the racing that's going on and the guys watching. I got to thank Refined Motorsports, my teammates Curtis Critchley, Kyle Jackson. Another guy's giving me a lot of help on these tracks is James Watson. He's part of our team also, and he's very good on these tracks, so he helps me a lot and teaching me where to go and what to do and spotting and helping me out. So he's a real good guy too.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on picking up the win here tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season here, bud.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for everything you guys do too. Great broadcast, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And with that, my friends, that is it for the action here at Talladega Superspeedway. And man, that was a good one, Turner. You missed it. You missed a good one, man.
Yeah, you missed a fun one to watch. And want to also give a shout out to our race controller, Robert Perrott. This is not an easy thing to do, guys. If you've ever been a race controller, you know there's so much you got to pay attention to, and helping clear flags and wave people around and stuff. So thanks so much, Robert, for the great job you did tonight as a race controller. I know it's not easy, especially when you have to manually throw cautions. So there's a lot of decisions to be made, and you kind of just got to be like a baseball umpire and say, hey, made the best call I could. That's all you can do. So thanks, Robert, for doing that tonight.
So as we kind of wind things down here, let's tell the folks where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. Now, just note with crazy finishes like that, where we got kind of wrecks going on, our standings and the iRacing official standings might be a little different. So bear with us here just a little bit, but there are some things that don't change, and that's going to be your race winner, Rick Spencer Walt, bringing that 13 truck home, up 20 spots in first. The 51 of Joshua Moore having a great race there himself, finishing in second, with Justin Lawson in the 20, rounding out that top three podium. You got the 27 of Curtis Critchley. We saw him, man, he was putting in the work here tonight. Unfortunately, just falling a little short of where he wanted to, finishing fourth. With the 4 of Eric Stoy, man, we saw him be the pusher of Supermen. But he was able to walk away here with a 5th place finish. In 6th, we got Michael Hicks, and this is that number I told you guys you wouldn't believe. He's our hard charger of the day, up 31 positions to finish in 6th here tonight. So Mike, wow, great running out there, man. But I mean, that's not to shag on Michael Grenolds, who's up 26 to finish in 7th. So, I mean, another great run from him. You got Kyle Jackson in the 60, up 6 spots, finishing there in 8th. A great run from him. Brandon Coleman had a pretty good run too himself, finishing in that top 10 9th, up 18. You got in his season opener for him, the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray, able to walk away with a top 10 finish. So congrats there, Mr. Gray, able to get a pretty solid finish out of this one. Andrew Hansley was able to walk away with 11th, with Paul Ferdiani in 12th. You got Rob Chowdhury in 13th, with Cale Turbeville, in 14th. Mike McMillan in the 21 had a little bit of issues there, but still walked away with a 15th. You got Derek Welch there in 16th in that one. The 69 of Gregory Turner looked like he might have actually been in it with a shot there until kind of that last lap shenanigans that goes on here, but still walking away with the 17th. Not too bad. The 10 of Stone Hutchinson, man, he was up front for a good chunk of the day as well. He's walking away with an 18th place. Brad Taylor, a little rough night for him in 19th. And rounding out your top 20 is going to be the 6 of Paul Durkee.
Cody Stanton, one of those guys that ran great early and involved in a couple of accidents late, still able to click off laps, stay on the lead lap, finishing 21st. The last truck on the lead lap, the 12 of Austin Johnson, fell back a little bit from where he started from, but hey man, there's always next week, so stick with it there, Austin. The 28 of Henry Wyndham finishes 23rd, your first truck one lap down. 88 of Zachary Staten had some issues, and we saw him get up and scrape the wall a couple of times, finishing 24th. The 75 of Brian Skidmore in 25th. The 7 of Rick LePage in 26th. The 5 truck of Stumpy in 27th. The 8 of Derek Rowdy Puckett in 28th. Not where he wanted to finish. He started in 8th, lost 20 spots on the night. Hey man, that's what happens when you get up on your roof like that. You got to keep them 4 wheels on the ground, Derek. But it's plate races. Sometimes you don't really have the option. The 18 of Dylan Ellis finishing 29th. The 97 truck of Rodney Griffin finishing 30th. The 61 of Kyle Hackett in 31st. Nathan Stanley in the 67 truck, 32nd. Mark Collins, the 25. We hadn't really called his name much tonight. Hopefully next week we'll mention you a little bit more, Mark. Sorry about that. They did have some problems and finished 23 laps down in 33rd. Special Ed, Eddie Murray, finished in 34th. Wayne Dewey in the 11 truck finishes 35th. 2 of Brian Doty finished 36th, and Kevin Winker in the 42 truck finishing 37th.
And that is your entire field here at Talladega. But as we finish this one up, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, and having some fun with us as we watch these boys run round and round in circles all night, and commenting and throwing in your feedbacks. You are the reason why we do this, is to hang out and have some fun and give some of you guys some entertainment, and maybe give you a little insight on what your favorite driver might be doing here as well. We gotta thank Triple T's Custom PCs once again as a proud sponsor of this race. Definitely go look them up on Facebook if you need to build up a custom PC, or even if you're just looking for some computer parts. They can definitely get you some great parts at very competitive prices. So go check them out and give them a little bit of business, because without sponsors, some of these things in the league take a little bit to run, and they wouldn't be running without their support. So thank you to that. Well, on that note, for Alan English, I'm Alan Brown. Adam, we missed you this week, buddy, but you know what? That's all right. We'll just enjoy this one, the two of us. So we'll finish this one off here tonight, and we see you guys later.
And thanks so much to all our vets out there, World War II vets. Today is the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So if you know any World War II vets in your family that are still around, make sure and give them a little bit of love, and let them know that you appreciate them. And with that, we're gone.